Today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we talk about a pair of really, really nice monitors. So in this video, I thought we would talk about something very personal to everyone that critically listens to or works with audio and music and production, and that is their studio monitors. And I wanted to tell you about a pair that I've been borrowing for a few months and how blown away I am with them. And full disclosure, before we go anywhere, these monitors have been on loan to me from Ex-Machina. I'm not being paid to make this video, nor do I get to keep these monitors unless I pay for them, which I probably will. All thoughts and opinions are mine. So when it comes to studio monitors, I really feel like it's such a personal thing to choose the monitor that works best for you and your workflow and the sonic characteristics that you like to hear, etc., etc. Studio monitors are a lot like shoes, in my opinion, right? There's a job for just about everything, but the ones that actually fit you are unique to you, right? Especially for the purpose. And in a monitor, I look for accuracy, but I look for a certain amount of fun factor. But recently, I kind of realized that I needed to get away from my three-way setup with the subwoofer, and I really needed to go to just a two-way monitoring system and call it good. So in my particular room, it's kind of a sonic nightmare once you get down to the low end. And having a sub really, honestly, made things a lot worse than they needed to be. And really the solution was to get mains that go almost as low as a given sub, right? So enter the Ex-Machina Pulsar mkIIs. These go down to 35 Hertz, which is pretty incredible. That's certainly all that I need. I don't typically work in EDM or anything like that. So I don't need the sub like super mega lows. I just need to hear the kick drum accurately and nicely. My needs are simple. Now you will also notice that normally when I'm making these videos about studio monitors in particular, I usually have them with me and I can hold them like a little baby, like a little puppy. I can't do that with the Pulsar mkIIs. These are very large, for me, very large monitors that come in at, I think, 51 pounds. And they are so large and heavy that I actually had to buy new monitor stands for them because the ones that I had been rocking for, the last 6 years weren't adequate. They were gonna fall over and I didn't want that. So I had to buy new monitor stands to cope with the size and weight of these things. Now, upon first hearing the Pulsars, my first reaction was to laugh, which I don't normally have that kind of reaction to listening to something. But when you get monitors, first of all, the experience of getting new monitors is awesome. But when I brought them up and turned them on and turned up the volume for the first time, I sat and laughed because I was suddenly in the music. I was enveloped and hugged by the music. I wasn't just on the outside listening to the music, if that makes sense. This sounds really overly dramatic, but I've had these for over 2 months at this point, and the honeymoon phase is over for me with these. I still, whenever I get free time in here, I just sit here at my desk and I just listen to music. These monitors have really made me fall in love with just listening to music again. And I haven't had that kind of experience in a really long time, since I was a very young person in the backseat of my dad's car listening to my headphones with my Stone Temple Pilots tapes in the mid-90s. Like, that's the kind of feeling that it evokes of me, because now I get to critically listen to cool mixes that I'm used to, that I've heard a million times, and still discover new things in those mixes. As silly as that may sound, and as, I don't know, I don't mean to hype these up any more than necessary. However, for me, these have been an absolute sonic gift, and they've been really incredible. Now, the monitors themselves are made out of a material called Velcro mat, and they're basically physically inert, right? They're sonically inert, and they don't contribute or take away anything sonically from the monitors themselves, right? Unlike, MDF and all, normal woods have a resonant frequency that they will vibrate at. These don't have that. You will also notice on the back of the Pulsars, when you take them out of the box, there's a distinct lack of I/O and trim pots and anything like that. You basically have two different controls. You have full range, and then you have low latency mode, and then you have kind of a boundary control, a three-way boundary control. And that's basically it, because the thinking is, you know, if you're buying $10,000 monitors, you probably have a monitor controller which you can trim the input if needed. And that brings me to my next point. These monitors are not for the hobbyist. They're not for the weekend warrior. These monitors are for the serious audio connoisseur, producer, songwriter that wants accuracy, that wants huge, huge sound, but also something that offers you an unparalleled amount of detail that you need to work. To that end, these are about 10 grand a pop. I think technically right now, as of this filming, they're $9,700 on Sweetwater, but these are not inexpensive monitors. Now, am I telling you guys you need to run out and buy $10,000 monitors in order to accurately mix or hear the music that you're working on? Absolutely not. I am not telling you that at all. But I am saying from my experience, whenever I bring up music or a mix or anything with these monitors, I know exactly where that money went. It went into engineering and development, because they sound bonkers. Now, one of the main caveats to these monitors, I would say, is the latency, and that comes from the DSP processing to manage and fine-tune the crossover, but also the phase alignment between all of the drivers. They are not using DSP to frequency correct. Video editor fresh out of the shower fluff here, and Ex-Machina does use DSP to fine-tune the frequency response, although that is not the primary use of the DSP. I thought I would clarify that for the purposes of this video. All right, back to the main video. The DSP in these monitors is for crossover control and phase relationship to the drivers themselves. And when you turn on that full range, using the full breadth of the DSP, you get hit with the most three-dimensional sound you've ever heard with these monitors. So the latency itself has not been a problem for me personally. I typically am monitoring with two different monitors, in this case, some Genelec 8331s, and I typically will dial in a guitar tone and track using those speakers anyways, just because I'm very comfortable with those monitors. But whenever it's time to mix or do anything critical, I switch over to the Pulsars. And honestly, it's not a shocking difference between the Genelecs and the Pulsars, as far as like there's not some huge mid shift and there's not some huge top end shift or anything like that. Both monitor sets are very, very flat and accurate. However, with the Pulsars, there's a distinct amount of low end compared to the Genelecs without a sub. And that's all I really have for you guys. These monitors have been stunning. If you are at a trade show, NAMM is open to the public in January 2025, or at a AES or anything like that, please check out the Ex-Machina stuff. They are made in Brooklyn in the USA, and they are absolutely stunning. I can't even describe how amazing they have been having here with me to work on them with. It's just been really, really awesome. I will link down below in the description if you'd like to know more things about the Ex-Machina Pulsar mkII monitors. And with that, you've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.